Okay, we're going to set up and work on the next part here. I'm going to try to show you. It'll be this part right here. Let's see if I can highlight it. That part. So I need some stock that's 900 and what was it? Yeah, 984 is what I've held the cross members to. So 984 square. So what I'm going to do is going to take a piece of scrap and square it up. Go to the 4-jaw, turn the diameters on this end, flip it around, turn the diameters on this end, saw it in half, and then mill it down to the width. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to go and square this up on the mill. Go over to the mill here, and we'll just take and let me hit it with a file first. We'll load on this edge here first, I think. Let's see which is truer to being square. Alright, let's see. That one's a little on the top. Alright, so they're actually both pretty square to the sides, so we'll just go ahead and put that in there. And I've got a bolt laying here. This is my long bolt that I use for holding it and just clamping on a single line here and pushing it up against the solid jaw square. And snug up the vise. I'm going to take that vise stop off of there because I don't need it. I don't need it right now. And if you haven't made one of these vise stops yet, and I would suggest making one. This is only vise stops that I use. They fit over the back of the jaw, and they've got 2 set screws in them. Just put it on, tighten it up, and you butt your part up against. They're simple to make. There's not a whole lot to them. That was one of the first things I made when I was in the shop many years ago. I made several different styles of these. But if you don't have one, I would suggest making one because they are they are worth the time and effort for sure. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to put a little fly cutter in. And I gotta find where I put it. I had it over here. Here it is. Just a little 2-flute inserted fly cutter. Shell mill fly cutter. Alright. Here. And we'll come down and we'll just touch. Crank it off. I'm just going to crank the knee up about 20 thou or so. And 984 is what we want. I think this is 1-inch stock. My calipers here. Pretty sure. Yes, it is. So what I'm going to do is put the side that we just milled up against the solid jaw. Put the bolt in the front again. And then I'm going to come over and we're going to touch off again. Just going to crank it up till it touches. Come on. Right there. Alright. Take that out. I'm just going to hit that edge with a file. Make sure there's no hanging burrs. And now what I'm going to do is that surface we just milled, I'm going to flip it around. And that's going to mill that down. And now I don't need a... I really don't need a, because that side should be square to that. And should be close. We'll see where we're at. Should be like within... Oh, where did I lay my calipers? Right here, right in front of me. And we want 984, and we are at just checking my zero on my calipers here. So the stock was actually a little bit bigger than 1 inch. It was like 1 inch 5, 1 inch 10. So right now we are still at 1 inch and 5. So we want to go about 20 thou, 21 thou, really. Put that in there, back in there. Snug it up. Crank the knee up 21 thou. 10, 20, and we'll get that last one. There we go. Hit this edge with the whoops. Hit that edge with the file again. All right. And then we'll put the last edge, our last face that we need to mill, sticking up. And put my bolt back here again. I just usually leave it lay right back there now so that I don't have to look for it all the time. Okay, I'm just going to double check with my calipers. It should be 984. 984, there we go. So, let's go over to the lathe, put the four-jaw on, and we'll clap it into four-jaw, and then we'll face this and mill or turn the diameters that we need. And then flip it around end for end, do the same thing, and do it all over again. And then cut it in half. And then mill it to the width that we need, the thickness we need. I'm deburring the ends of it. Right there, that edge has still got a little bit of a hanger, and that edge got a little bit of a hanger. Alright, there we go. Put the quill back up. Alright, lathe is still set up basically for when I did the glass tubes. E-stop is pushed in. Take the 5C collet attachment off first. Take the collet out of there. And then take the handle off in the back. Wrong Allen wrench. If I loosen the lock nut, it'll probably come loose. Usually the Allen wrench is laying right here. My stuff. There's two screws in the back that you need to half dog, or I don't know if they're called half dogs or if they're actually like a full dog. I'm not sure what they're called, but okay. And we will turn my spider attachment screws in so that I can get the handle over it. There we go. Pull that out. Now I'm gonna knock the taper attachment out. The collet taper attachment. Just got a long aluminum bar to go in the back. Usually it comes out with 1 or 2 wraps. Like that. Just give it 1 wrap up against that with a. I should back you up a little bit. Alright, get the four-jaw out. Just wipe this. Make sure that that's clean. That's a taper that four-jaw sits up against. And then, I see I didn't clean out the inside here. Give this taper a wipe because that's what loads the four-jaw up on this taper with the cam lock pins. Put the cam lock pins in the holes. Slide that up. I just turn them up till they're just snug the first time around. There's 3 of them. And the last one I tighten, and tighten. All right. I should have scribed a center mark on here. That way, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to blue this and then scribe a center line mark. Actually, I'm not even going to blue it. I'm just going to grab my calipers. Set my calipers. And I'm just scratching a line. Yeah, so I got a target for when I put a center in. Set that in there. I'm just kind of eyeballing it right now. Get it close. Right. Now I want to back this out away. I'm going to put a dead center in my wipe the gook off of it first. The high pressure lube. And then get a good smack on that. There we go. We'll slide that up. Lock that. Right now, try to get you up here and zoomed in. Now I don't know if you can see how well you can see. I don't know how well you can see the X on there, or the mark. It's got to go that way a little bit. This is just to get me close. Then I'll get the indicator out and get it right on. Loose. It's got to go that way. Oop. Too far. Actually went the wrong way. That's pretty close that way. Now got to come toward me. I have 2 handles, but I use one handle. You know, some people are going, oh, you need 2 handles. Well, put an X on there, put a center mark on it. You don't have that far to turn it, so I don't really need a 2-hand. All right, so now we'll back this out, put the chuck back in, put the indicator in it, and we'll get it dead on. Get in here. Like this indicator with a bigger ball on the end, so I can go on and off of the part easy. And we'll see where we're at. And what I do is kind of, as far as in and out toward me, you look down at that scribe line and you can just pull it over. So it's kind of in line with that. It doesn't have to be exact, but close to where that scribe line is, up and down, the center. It puts the indicator on center, which makes it a little bit easier. Alright, we'll move in. I'm going to move you up a little bit, I think. So you're looking, well, you can see the indicator pretty good right there, fairly well. Push this down, put some load on my, preload on my indicator. Rock this back and forth, and what you're doing is you're looking for the low spot. Right there. Now this is just, now I zeroed it. Pull it off, swing 180, come back on, rock it back and forth, and you're looking for the low spot again, and you see that we're 8th thou low, so got to bring it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it so it's just a little bit. We want to go 4th thou, because we're 4th thou high on this side. We're at 0. Get the low spot, then crank it until we get to the 4. Right there. Alright, zero it. Bring it off. Swing 180. We should be close. Not saying it's going to be exact, but it should be close. Okay, it's exact. So there we are. We got it. We have it centered this way. So now let's swing it around here. And since this is a square and we're looking for the center, it should be able to just come on to the block here and get it back to 0 again. And here we are. Wow, I had it close to that scribe line, huh? Because this one here is only about 3.5. So we only want to go to about 2 thou, not quite. I'm going to zero it here. It should have came out the same 0 spot, but if I varied a little bit on my width, which it shouldn't have varied, but even if you did, I mean, it's not going to be the same 0, obviously. It probably would have been the same 0. I moved it, and we got to come up 3/4 of a thou. Just crack that side. So I'm going to put it at 3/4 of a thou. Yep. So 0. Did I move it 180? Sometimes I like to put a mark on the two opposite sides. That way I can alright. 0. So I don't get confused. There we go, 0 there. Let's see how far off we were on variance of the widths. Not very. See, if I left it alone at 0, it would have been good. Alright, so there we are, dialed in. First thing I want to do is face that. And then I want to turn a 5/16 diameter first. And I'll have to calculate it. I got a calculated dimension here. So I will get the dimensions that I need to turn, and when I get ready to start turning, I'll be back. But for now, I'm going to sit down and do my math here and figure out the dimensions that I need to go to. So we are ready. I'll be back.